Hi. I'm Bobby. I am a robot cat. You know, I've not discussed Catherine as often as I once did. It has become quite boring. Well, since her latest tales of cult memberships, church abuse and now, abuse by her family. Our dearest Catherine takes it one step further. Circling back to an accusation she has made in the past toward her own father. Over on Instagram she has tripled down on these accusations and claims. Despite proof it is almost all fabricated. Let us see what our dear Adderall Lanny is getting up to.
I got sucked into a cult-like church that was inspired by Hillsong. The church played Hillsong music every week.
I thought you said it was a rock and roll church. Where everyone wears pants and drinks coffee. Never mind.
The music is hypnotic and makes you feel connected to God. That is intentional. I had no clue what Pentecostal religion was before going to this church.
Yes, you did. Stop it.
Oceans by Hillsong was on my playlist that I listened to while I cooked.
You don't cook.
I was deep in this world for 5 years. Back to the show.
Clearly, this new program she has been tuning into has inspired her to amp up her years-long, typically contradictive tale of cult abuse. But, as she has evolved her story about her family, it has become much darker than it has been in the past. She has now added her father, and her own brother, to this terrible narrative. Let us have a look.
I grew up with a patriarchal non-religious father that was raised conservative Presbyterian.
I thought you just said that you were raised in a strict Catholic household. Just the other day. What the fuckery, fuckwad.
Despite my father's lack of faith as an adult, he did not abandon his firm belief of patriarchal control and misogyny. I have one sibling. An older brother. A golden child.
Oh, here we go.
My parents believed their second child would be a boy. When I was born, shock was an understatement. They weren't prepared for a girl. The story about how I wasn't a boy was a story that was played on loop throughout my childhood.
Interesting. I will do my very best to find all of the clips of you bragging about what a wonderful, middle-class upbringing you survived as a child. Wow.
I wasn't who they expected. I was also born with disabilities. I was born with hip dysplasia and a club foot. To correct my foot I went through a series of casting and special shoes. I wore stiff braces for my hips and leaned to walk while wearing braces. Think Forrest Gump.
I shall not say a word. I shall not say a word. I shall not say a word.
Growing up my body and appearance was analyzed and a frequent topic of conversation within my family. My brother made up songs to mock my small chin.
And your outrageous, abusive, small-chinned father said nothing of this.
He also created a song when I was 8 years old where he called me Thunder Thighs.
My God, Catherine. Stop it.
Looking at my childhood photos I was not chubby at 8, but my brother and parents sure made me think that I was. My brother was horrifically abusive to me as a child.
Wow. I've nothing funny to say at all. You have absolutely no stop when it comes to gaining attention on the internet. How could you do this to your own family?
He pinned me down and would try to suffocate me by putting pillows over my face. My parents would laugh and joke about his behavior. He was 4 years older than me. I was always much smaller than him. I could not fight back, and I've been paranoid of suffocating my whole life because of this trauma.
You really are going to wither away on this hill of tomfoolery. Yikes.
My father physically abused me. He verbally abused my mother and me. I've had to kick him out of my home as an adult due to his loud verbal abuse in front of my son.
Catherine, you have expressed in the past that your father was a good man. And, you have even added him into your lies if it fits your story. Claiming he was a police officer, at a point. How does one sleep at night while throwing normal, non-YouTubers, into such drama? Your brother has an entire family, you fucking asshole.
In 2022, I confronted my parents for allowing and enabling my brother's abuse of me.
How did we never hear about this? Or your Forrest Gump story? Or, have I missed something?
Instead of listening to me, they told me that my grandfather was a pedophile and that other people experienced worse abuse than me.
Catherine, going no contact with your family is likely the best thing that has ever happened to any of them. This reminds me of the time you Me Too'd some poor bloke in your town. and blasted his family's restaurant all over. The exact restaurant you and your husband went out to eat. Despite your assertion, you're a victim of this man. And by the by, the man was never even charged with a crime. There are many successful reporters who actually find some solace in the stories they cover being quite unrelatable. You do not have to make up gigantic lies, especially lies that could potentially destroy your own family. You can simply talk about your reality TV cult, and go home. Anytime the views drop, the story's stale, or you are lacking attention, you find a new person in your circle to victimize. All for the sake of your own ego. My God, that is all I've got for now. Do consider subscribing to my channel. Cheers.